Get to talk to the authors, and I think one of the things that I've found about anything I've been involved with the author things at any of the libraries around here is that the authors are very accessible and love to talk to the fans and things like that. And I think a lot of people don't think that, they think that sort of authors are sort of like
one of the things people don't realize that authors are not celebrities. So we
You're
are
not supposed to say it that way.
I'm sorry. we are like caged, handcuffed to our keyboards, computers, and every now and then they let us out. It's so much fun.
We're happy to talk to people. Yeah.
I know.
That's
It
great.
actually is more fun for us.
That's great. Well, you're obviously very social. I mean,
Yes.
and you do have a lot of fun. I can tell that from your website. You know, there's a lot of humor in your website, and you do a lot of interviews. You do book signings. You go to a lot of these things.
Yeah, one of the things over the years, Jim and I mean, we've been doing this now nearly, I guess, 20 years together. We found out that going back to authors are not celebrities, we have a difficult time when you have a signing, when an author is sitting behind the table and fans or potential readers approach for a sign. I mean, there is no chemistry in that kind of situation. Right. So years ago, we asked our publishers to let's take this show on the road and let's just
give talks, talk to the readers groups, and talk to young people about writing. And it really is a great opportunity to interact and to give something rather than just say, here, let me sign this book that you're buying.
Right.
And because I think it really goes back to that, is giving, because readers feel more personally connected with you when they get a chance to meet you in person and hear what you have to say about what you write. I mean, because every one of us, I mean, you being a writer and artist yourself, you know, we feel very passionate about our work.
Yes.
And also this is the opportunity to hear the other end of the spectrum. You know, you talk to them and you learn from that interaction.
Yes.
And take it to your next work.
Right. Well, I find as an artist that if something's hanging in a gallery, then for as long as it's there, you don't get to see the people interacting with the work. But when you do something like that, when you're there, when you're talking to them, you can see how it affects people, and that to me is always like something special about connecting you to your audience.
I could tell you a not so nice story though about seeing one of our first books in the grocery store and having a woman pick it up, and she thought I was out of my mind when I said to her that my wife and I wrote that book. I think she really did think I was stalking her. But
she dropped the book and ran for it.
Well, it's funny because you said something about that people don't value you who live close to home, and so maybe in a supermarket, if you come in, well anybody could come up to you, if they sell it in the supermarket, if they live locally, it can't be really a good book.
Can't really be a good book. Oh my gosh! A few years back, we were in Baton Rouge for a big book signing and event, and there were a number of authors there, but here we were from Connecticut in Baton Rouge, and we had so many fans line up to talk to you. And so that's Jim's favorite saying. It's like you have to get really far away.
Well, you've actually lived in a lot of different places and traveled around, and actually your books are based on a lot of your own experiences, because you were an engineer, and you actually were born in the Middle East. So
yes, I was born in Iran, and I came here when I was 17. I was on the eve of the revolution.
Mail order bride.
I was not. He likes to say that, And another thing is we have this great relationship when, I think it's great. People say, how could you work with your spouse, And my first comment is, he's a goofball. Of course I could work with him, but we do have sense of humor. We do make fun of each other all the time, and we respect each other. I think respect and not making fun, but humor is part of it. So I go on this nice story, and yes, I came from Iran. This is a serious story, Jim.
Oh, sorry.
Keep it down. We try to put, again, a lot of our travels, a lot of our background in our books, and even at some point, I think it was a couple years ago when our older son started traveling through Africa, so forth. So that was our deal. you're going to go Morocco? Guess what? You're going to do some research for us.
That's right. And we used that work.
And we did use it. So it's great now because we have this network of researchers, which we call our children, that you go anywhere. Oh, our other son, you are going to Russia? Yes, you are checking this place out for us, bringing and keeping a journal. So it's been fun. Yeah, and I think readers appreciate it when there is some authentic feel to the work. You know?
One of the things when Nikoo and I were first married, she was in college and I was working in the shipyard.
Jim was 40 then.
And that's right. And she was.
I was 7.
That's correct. That's right. And so what?
See how it feels to interrupt me?
No, I don't. But I was working in the shipyard building submarines in Groton, and where Nikoo would go to work later on. But we're always talking about stories together, and we actually came up with an idea for a story. It would be so easy to hijack a submarine right out of the shipyard itself. And so we started talking about that. Well, it was 15 years before, 20 years, 15 years before we actually sat down to write that story, and it became really one of our most popular books. But it's satisfying to, again, right now we write a lot of techno thrillers because my engineering background and, before Jim went back to teaching, again, working in the shipyard, he had a lot of technical background. So, and readers get, love that whole concept of is so close to truth. Just 4 or 5 years ago, we wrote a book that had to do with you're driving your car and a virus basically takes control of your car and you start doing whatever. Controls the electronics.
And 6 months after the book came out, there was an article in New York Times about can a virus hitch a ride on your car? And but when that book came out, we got all these letters from fans that they were worried about driving their cars. They were like, could this happen to me? Is this real? Could this really? So it's fun to be on that edge of, it's not science fiction, but almost truth, but.
Well, I heard today that Toyota says there's something about the electronics is involved with the.
They're going to blame us.
They will. Yeah.
That's it. We're going to be dragged into this yet.